Okay, for this video, we're going to look at M3 May 2018. So for question 1A, it says write two prime numbers between 60 and 70. So we're looking for numbers that say basically has only two factors. We can find out that 61 would have only two factors. It's 1 times 61. Does not have any other factors it can multiply with to make 61. And this is the same case for 67. Has only two factors of 1 and 1 times 67. There's nothing else you can multiply to make 67. For question B, it says which of these is both a square number and a cube number. So the answer to this is 64. This is because you can do 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64, or 4 cubed is 64, or you can do 8 times 8, or 8 squared is 64. So you can have both a square and a cube number. 3/8 as a decimal for question C is basically you just put that into calculator as 3 divided by 8, and you would get 0.375. For question D, what percentage of £9 of £16? So basically that is just 9 out of 16. So the way you would write it is 9 out of 16, and then just times it with 100 because you're changing this fraction into a percentage, which is 56.25%. So this one is writing expressions. So question 2A is bikes normally cost B pounds. In a sale they are each reduced by £30. Write an expression for the cost of a bike in the sale. So because they normally cost B pounds and they're reduced by £30, you can write it as B take away 30. So this would be for one bike when it's reduced. Cycling helmets normally cost £8 each. In a sale they are each reduced to half price. Write an expression for the cost of a cycling helmet in the sale. So basically all you're doing is dividing by 2 for this one. So this is the price of a helmet in the sale when it's half price. So it says write an expression for the total cost of 4 bikes and 4 cycling helmets in the sale. So we write it out as 4 brackets B take away 30 plus 4 times H over 2. So that just means that 4 is multiplying with B take away 30. So 4 lots of B take away 30, 4 lots of bikes in the sale, and 4 lots of helmets in the sale. So what we do is expand this bracket so you can see that it's 4B, 4 times B is 4B, 4 times 30 is 120, and what you get here is 4 divided by 2 is 2H. So this would be the final expression you would have for this question. So for question 3, it says solve the equation. So what you eventually want to have is y equals on this. So the first step that you would take for this one is 5y equals 24 take away 4. So we're taking away 4 from each side. We want to isolate the y at the end there. So we're getting rid of the 4 first, and we're taking 4 away from each side. So we end up with 5y equals 24 take away 4, which is 5y equals 20. And then we divide by 5 on each side. So if we divide by 5 on the left hand side, I'll get rid of this 5. And if we divide by 5 on the right hand side, this is how it would look. And when we work that out, it's y equals 4 for that one. So that would be your answer to question 3. So for question 4, the packaging for a tube of toothpaste is a cuboid measuring 16 by 5 by 4 centimetres. Now this kind of question is dealing with cuboids and volume. So the manufacturer wants to be able to pack 150 of these tubes into a cardboard box. The box is a cuboid. The box measures 48 by 35 by 28. So what we're wanting to look for is how many of those tube of toothpaste would fit into this container or box there. So the first thing we do is we get the volumes of each one. Now there's a couple of ways you could do this, but this way we were just finding the volumes at the start. So volume equals length times width times height. And we've got the measurements just up here. And this one here is we're doing volumes, length times width times height as well. So first things first is we do the tube of toothpaste and we find the volume of that. So we substitute all those values in, 16 by 5 by 4, into the formula here. So 16 times 5 times 4 is basically going to be 320 centimeters cubed. So that's the volume of the tube of toothpaste. Next one, we want to get the volume of the cardboard box. And that's the same again. So we just substitute those values in, 48 by 35 by 28, into the formula. And we get 47,040 centimeters cubed. Next, to find out how many fits in, how many tube of toothpaste fit into the cardboard box, we divide them. This is for one tube of toothpaste, and we want to find how many of those fit into 47,040. And we find out that it's 147. So that means that the box would hold a maximum of 147 boxes of toothpaste. So as in the question it says, will the box be big enough to hold 150 tubes of toothpaste in their packaging? Then the answer is no, because it's 147. So this one is a two-way table. So we've got question 5. So it's male and female care assistants work in a nursing home. Some can work weekdays only, some can work weekends only, and some can work both. Complete the two-way table. So for this kind of thing, it's like a box filling exercise really. So you've got the total here at 3 and you've got male at 1. So 1 plus 2 is 3. So you've got here is 8 and it's 21 here with 1 missing. So you'll find that that 8 plus 13 is 21. You've got across here is 3, 10, and that should all equal to 21. So we've got here is 8. So 3 plus 8 plus 10 is 21. This one down here is 3. So something plus 3 is 8. So it should be 5. 1 plus 5 plus something is 8. So that's 1 plus 5 is 6. And then we've got 2 there to make 8. And then 2 plus something is 10. It will be 2 plus 8 is 10. So we've now filled in our two-way table. So the next part of the question is obviously trying to read this two-way table. It says how many male care assistants can work on weekends, and what you'll find is the answer is 7. So if we look at the male care assistants, we can see weekends 5 and both is 2, so they can both work weekdays and weekends. So 5 plus 2 is 7 for this one. So this question 6, deals with phone bills. So it says John has a telephone with the following costs. So he's got a line rental of £18.99 per month and a call charge of 5.8 pence per minute. Last month John made calls lasting 385 minutes. Work out his telephone bill for last month. So what you want to try and do is to find the usage that he had, how much that cost. So the first thing you would do is 385 times 5.8. Now, because you're times them with pence, you'll get the answer in pence. And then we convert that to pounds, which is £22.33. So the line rental is just a one-off payment each month. So what we do with the usage and the line rental is we add them together. So £22.33 add £18.99. So the total bill for that month should be £41.32. So question 7 is an isosceles triangle. So it says PQR is an isosceles triangle with PQ equal to PR. So that's just showing you that the sides are equal and it is an isosceles triangle. So QRS is a straight line. So QRS along here is a straight line. It says for question A, work out the size of the angle marked X. So because it's an isosceles triangle, these two sides are equal and these two angles at the bottom here are equal. So the first step is really to work out what's left from 70. So we do 180 take away 70, which is 110. So that just means that those two angles here would add up to 10. Now, because those two angles are equal, we can half that. And that would give you 55. So it's 110 divided by 2 is 55. That just means each of those angles is 55 degrees. So for question B, it says work out the size of the angle marked Y. So we've got 55 degrees here next to that. So these two angles here would be a straight line going through. These two angles should add up to 180. So what we can find out is basically the 180 take away 55 would be 125. So that's your 55 would be next to the Y. You take away it from 180 because it's a straight line, and you should get 125 degrees for Y. So this question deals with parallel lines. So it's question C. It says find out the values of X and Y. So these two are the parallel lines going across here. And then there's a line going through here. If you've got an angle at the same position, like bottom right and bottom right here, these are called corresponding angles, and they should be the same angle. So it should be 33 degrees. For finding out what Y is, this line is going through the parallel lines. So if you can see, it's like a Z formation here, inside the parallel lines. If you've got these two like this, it should be equal. These are called alternate angles. So Y should be 54.